How are you, sir? Welcome back to BVB. Good to see you.
I am doing well. And first off, I'm impressed. You got the nice carpet. You got the graphics.
Right.
Look at these chairs.
We've grown up in the world.
You know, I have a bad back. I got a 3-year-old. This is beautiful. I want to stay here all day and just hang out.
Wait, you got a 3-year-old?
I have a 3-year-old.
Are you able to keep up?
No. No. My 3-year-old teaches me stuff that I didn't even know. I'm like, this is a banana? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's count to 100 for the 500th time? Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I love my little girl to death. Keeps me young.
Amen to that. We're girl dads too. So.
Yeah. I got 3. He got 1. I'm on the little further ahead of you. He's not too far ahead of you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Change your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be great.
All right, so last night I got a chance to see you over at Media Night, opening night, whatever you want to call it. What do you make of that? Because I was impressed by the number of Niner fans who were there, and it felt more, the energy was higher for the Niners than the Chiefs. That means nothing, but it's just an observation that it feels like West Coast Super Bowl, right? The West Coast team is going to show out.
Yeah, it's become quite a spectacle. Yeah. I was just telling people I've done 15 Super Bowls, and I remember it used to be on a Tuesday morning. You go coffee, it'd be in the stadium, it'd just be 100 media people there, doing questions, very casual. And now it's like the Royal Rumble. While I was trying to ask a question to Debo Samuel, they were shooting T-shirts in the stadium, and I couldn't hear. He couldn't hear me and everything. I think it's great for the fans. One thing I like to look at is to see which of the athletes or which of the players seems a little overwhelmed themselves. Some really get into it, but others, I thought Brock Purdy's eyes were a little bigger than usual.
Yep.
This is a different, level, of event. And I think it's fun for the fans. I think it's another way for them to make money because everything was sponsored. Everything, opening night sponsored by this, sponsored by that.
Yes.
It's definitely something that's not going away. But, yeah, I did feel like it was more 49ers fans. But, can those fans translate to the stadium because we see what those ticket prices are?
Yeah, very expensive.
Yeah.
Everything's expensive.
Yeah.
So this is number 15 for you. Number 1 in Vegas.
Yes.
I think they're coming back. I mean, I think things have started to really, everybody's eyes have been open. Would you have ever imagined that Vegas would have been on the list of places, 1, to have a team, but 2, to have this spectacle?
No, not at all. I came to Vegas the first time in 2008 for Floyd Mayweather, Ricky Hatton fight.
What a fight.
Remember that when all the Brits came down?
Yeah.
And I vividly remember what Vegas looked like at that time. It was still, Vegas.
Yeah.
But what it's become in regards to the T-Mobile Arena and the football team and the WNBA team and the hockey team and the Cosmopolitan and the Aria, and then going farther down, now the Fountain Blue. Their expansion, I would say, in that last, what I've been 15, 20 years from going there, it's amazing. And I think basketball is coming, and then, baseball is on the way. And now it is like it's like an LA, it's like a New York, it's like a Texas when it comes to sports now. And I got to be honest, I didn't see that back then because they were so dead set against it. But now everything is sponsored by, the sports grid and everything, It's very encouraging. And they even asked Commissioner Goodell, they said 10 years ago, you said this would never happen, and point shaving and all this. And it's like, yeah, that was 10 years ago. And not to go Johnny Manziel on you, but it's definitely going to be in the rotation, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And one thing that's interesting, because we live here, the weather here this week is not typical. Everyone's going like, what is going on? It's raining like crazy. What do you make of the overall presentation of the city? Like when you come in, how does Vegas compare to other cities? Because for us, we've said this is a more compact, everything is very close together. That can be good and bad. Like LA was really spread out. All different areas they had stuff. Arizona, same thing. It was all spread out. Only thing that's spread out is where the teams are. They put those teams on the moon compared to where we are here, but everything else is really localized to the strip.
They didn't want a Eugene Robinson situation. But I always
Kids,
believe.
Google it. They don't know what you're talking about, Robert. Eugene Robinson, Atlanta Falcons. We'll leave it at that. Go.
I like it when it's more compact. I feel like you get to more things. I think the events for the sponsors and everything are easier to get to. Vegas, Miami, New Orleans. I always feel those are the best Super Bowls. There's nothing wrong with Arizona or Tampa or in LA, but I'm out there in LA, and they had a Super Bowl there, and I didn't go anywhere. And I live there because, the idea of the traffic, the idea of getting, taking an hour or 2 hours to get from one place to another. Well, now I can hop in an Uber and go down the strip and go see Marshawn Lynch, go see Ocho Cinco. The Rock is going to be here,
Yep. And trying to get him on the show. I don't think he's going to make it. Trying my best.
Yeah, and I think that's an advantage that Vegas has, is that they know, and the biggest advantage, hotels.
Right.
Yeah. You have so many hotels, you can have more people in town than, say, New Orleans, which you have to spread. You have to go farther out. Or Indianapolis or something like that. Here, everybody's just sitting here. They can go to their preferred hotel and spend a lot of money. I think it's going to be not every 10 years. I think it's going to be every 4 to 5 years Vegas gets a Super Bowl.
That's exactly what I heard as well. Now, as far as the game.
Yes.
The way Kansas City has been an underdog the last 2 weeks, not really expected to be here. San Francisco, during their games, despite being the 1 seed and the favorite, trailing in both at halftime, having to come back and win. Did we get an unexpected matchup? And if so, what do you think most people were talking about outside of the media?
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of people that were interested in the Ravens, Lions, just for the freshness of it. Lamar Jackson, Dan Campbell. Think you'll get a little more quotes and things of that nature, a little more fresh stories. Obviously, the NFL wants Taylor Swift here. They want that. They've made that very clear. I do think because it's a rematch, and there is a lot of players that are still there, the biggest difference between the 49ers when they played the Chiefs is the quarterback. Jimmy G had an opportunity to win that game. The 49ers defense held Kansas City to 10 points for 3.5 quarters. And Jimmy G just couldn't make that pass, that run. That's the difference between, I think, the 49ers winning and losing. Well, Brock Purdy, when they've gotten behind, he's made that pass, that run. He hasn't looked great, the entire game, but people don't remember that. Remember what the last thing you did. And I think that's going to be the difference. Will he turn into Jimmy G? Will he turn into Mr. Irrelevant? Or will he make that run, that pass, that third down conversion, that big play? Because I think it's going to be a close game all the way through.
You mentioned Taylor, so I want to ask you about Taylor's boyfriend for a second, because I'm curious, in your community, one of the line of questioning last night to Travis Kelce I found pretty interesting, because the Travis Kelce haircut has become somewhat of a controversial thing, because black people are going, what are we talking about? He has a fade. This is nothing new. We've been having this cut for a long time. Is that in your audience? Is that like a legitimate conversation that the Travis Kelce cut is a controversy?
We're sensitive to that type of stuff because we've had a lot of things hijacked, from us. Back when Spike Lee was doing movies, we would say, stay woke. And it was a way of saying, not a way of being political. It was a way of saying, hey, pay attention to what's going on around you. Drive the speed limit. You don't want to get, pulled over. Watch out for certain things in certain neighborhoods. Stay aware.
Right.
Yeah. And they just took it. They just took it. I saw there was a movie and there was a gay person in the movie. Not a big deal. And they was like, this is wokeism. And I'm like, how do we get from here to there? So I think there is a sensitivity with the protectiveness of our culture. Yeah. We see things like the Kardashians take certain things and things like that nature. And I don't think it was Travis Kelce specifically, because in general, people have liked Travis Kelce over the years. And, he kneeled when Kaepernick kneeled. One of the few that weren't black that kneeled, with Kaepernick. Well, I think we're just sensitive, and it's like, hey, it's a good looking cut. I've gotten it for years and everything. Like, let's, it was in the New York Times. When I talk about media, years ago, when I said this is what media is going to be in 10 years, I got laughed at when in my headlines and things like that. And then you see the New York Times doing stories on Travis Kelce haircut. I just think they freaked, out. I'm glad that he at least acknowledged it.
He tamped it down last night.
Okay, now we can move on. He
Right.
said it, and hopefully, whatever the next thing is won't be as bad.
It's awesome.
We're in the gambling space, and we talk about the gambling stuff. I worked in books for 20 years, 25 years. LeBron James and DraftKings did a deal.
Yeah.
The crown is yours. He's the king, right? Like, does that surprise you? I mean, you want to talk about what things were like 10 years ago, and them taking stuff and using they went and got the most visible, active player in basketball, only second to MJ in history.
Yeah.
And put a sportsbook deal together.
Yeah.
Surprise you?
No, because when you look at the advertising now, you can't watch a game that doesn't have a sports book involved.
Right.
You'll go around here. I see Jamie Foxx's face on every billboard,
Everywhere.
MGM,
Everywhere.
and what I've learned is that
Kevin Hart.
Oh my God, Kevin Hart. Oh man, those are not good commercials. But I like Kevin Hart. I'm not trying to go. I'm not trying to go viral or anything. I like Kevin.
He doesn't watch the show.
You never know. But the money that's been put behind it, and once the leagues were like, it's okay now. They have so much money. It's gambling.
Right.
The house always wins. So for every guy you see over there that won a parlay for, $100,000 off of $5, there's 10 million guys that lost $20 trying to make that, same parlay. So that's how that works. And you're a Vegas guy, so you know that.
Saying the quiet part out loud, as Dave would say.
Yes, I love it. That's it. That was great.
Out loud. What do you think of the NBA? You mentioned it here. Who's a better owner for Vegas, Shaq or LeBron? Because there's going to be a big fight coming down the pike here. LeBron has made no bones about it to the commissioner. I want to own a team. I want Vegas. Shaq has been more quiet, but Shaq's got more businesses here in Vegas. He's invested in the community. He has the Big Chicken franchise, which is now, I think there's 4 in Vegas now. He's got Shaq's Fantasy Lab, which is over at the mall, which I just went to. Is awesome, really cool. Who's the better owner for Vegas?
I think they want LeBron to be the next Magic Johnson.
Okay.
When his career is over, I just think that they want that overlap not to be, much. Like you said, Shaq has been doing various businesses for many years, but when they walk out there and it's Adam Silver, he wants retired LeBron, right there. He wants LeBron, especially in a new market, especially if it's an expansion team, because if LeBron's the owner, that's automatic fans right there. Yeah. You know what they say about the Bron stands and everything like that. So you automatically have someone in close proximity that's going to probably be at every game, that wants to be involved, all the social media conversations about it. It just brings more buzz to it. Now, I know he's a billionaire, but now these franchises are going for $4 and $5, billion. So, does he get some help? Can he be like Michael Jordan? Can he be the majority, owner? I think that's what he wants, to be the guy in charge. And I think they're smoothing that path for him to retire and walk right into that.
What year would that be? Because he just watched those. Trade rumors were out there. They're still out there.
Yeah. He may never retire.
I think he's going to play with Bronny.
Right, which is 2 years.
So let's say Bronny comes out next year.
Okay.
I think he tries to play with Bronny. I think he goes, like you said, I think he goes 2 more years.
Okay.
And if I believe is right, the TV contracts are coming up, and then they're going to probably announce expansion, for that. So I give him 2. But it does seem like he can play for 5 if he wanted to. But I don't know if it's going to be in Los Angeles forever, because they're such a middle of the road type of team.
What is the feeling around LeBron in Los Angeles? Like, is he a Laker because he won a title in a Laker uniform, or is it sort of like, yeah, he's our guy kind of now, but when he walks, we're going to kind of forget he played for us?
He's never going to be Magic. He's never going to be Kareem. He's never going to be Kobe. He's probably not even going to be Shaq. I think they're going to appreciate what he did and getting the title and bringing him back to relevance. But when you ask any Laker fan, true Laker fan that's been a Laker fan for a lot, there are LeBron fans and then there's Laker fans. Yeah. They say, well, where does LeBron rank?
Right.
And, they're going to they may give you, some even James Worthy before they get to LeBron. Wow. They're serious about the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s.
Yeah.
They hold Kobe in such a reverence. He's never going to overcome that. But I do think he's done enough when they have those conversations about the great Lakers he's going to come up.
20-time NBA All-Star.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when you say that out loud, it's hard to fathom.
Yeah.
The All-Star game is next week.
Yeah.
What do you do after this week? As everything that you do, like what is post Super Bowl like for you next week? You take a week
I
off?
just roll. No, I roll right into
you,
it.
right? Just
another day.
Yeah.
I say my resume.
That's the biggest Laker fan or LeBron fan over there you could possibly get. Yeah,
My year never ends. I go from NBA. I go from NFL to NBA. I go to MLB. Hell, I do a little even hockey. Once we start getting close to the Stanley Cup, I do some hockey. The Olympics are coming up. I do the track and all of that
be
stuff.
Busy.
That was one thing when I started this business. I said I was a fan of sports and entertainment.
Amen.
I wanted to be a rapper. So I had music and sports. And so I said, whenever
you got a rap in you?
I used to be a rapper.
Yeah?
You ever seen the intro to my headlines?
Dave raps on this show.
Yeah. So I was always like, I wanted to do everything. I never wanted. I felt one of the things about being independent for so long was that nobody could stop me. So I don't go to when I was younger. I would go to anything that I can go to.
Yeah.
But I still, I have people go to the Final Four. I have people, college basketball, hockey, the Grammys. When we had somebody, at the Grammys the other night. So
perfect.
Yeah, this is what I love to do. It's not a job. You know what I mean?
Right,
I like for 20 years I've been doing something that's not a job. My wife is like, "Oh, you're gonna get up and actually work today?" I was like, "Hey, And she's like, "What did you do today?" I was like, "Oh, I ate the food at the stadium."
Right, yeah.
That's such hard work.
Right. They don't understand. They don't always understand. I've been fighting that battle myself. Who's your first favorite rapper when you were a kid?
My first favorite rapper, believe it, Kool Mo D.
That's my guy.
How you like
I go
me
to
now?
work.
I go to
How
work.
you like me now?
Wild Wild West.
Guy.
Kool Mo D.
That's my guy. That's
my favorite rapper of all
time.
time is Tupac.
Okay,
but when I first got into rap, it was Kool Mo D and LL Cool J. Run DMC, Rakim,
all of them.
Will Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the brand new funk. I'm definitely an old school rap guy.
Get you out here on this. The internet has become. This is no longer Radio Row. This is now Media Row.
Yeah.
We're just on YouTube right now. We're on every day on the internet. You were one of the first sites that I thought really took advantage of the explosion where you put content out every single day. You are a content creating machine. You put out headline after headline after headline. Where are we going? You were on the forefront. Where are we going here? Is traditional media out the window? TV, radio gone? Where are we going?
Well, I think traditional media is trying to be more like us.
Yes,
I've preached
ahead
that for
of
the last
curve again, huh?
Yeah. It's kind of like the fade and the woke. They saw what I'm like. You look at the TV shows; they're entertainment shows now. They're not. Back when I used to have the sports reporters, where outside the lines, in the middle of the day, and we used to do the Will Bonnet. They used to be more serious about. Now it's entertainment. It's WWE, and I think when you see a New York Times doing something about a fade and Taylor Swift, they're looking for numbers. They're looking for engagement. The way that you make money now, back in the day, we could just talk about the news and the advertisers. Advertisers now is like how many views you got, how many likes you got, how many subscribers you got. Are you on TikTok? Are you dancing?
Yeah.
And, you see that. The ESPN said something interesting, I thought. They're like, Pat McAfee's not getting, maybe linear ratings that we thought, but his YouTube is
huge,
is exploding. His boys, they're adding all of that together to the point, just like streaming. I think media, nobody's getting the USA Today paper, no more. You see what's going on with Sports Illustrated. The things that we were trendsetters for. That's now mainstream media. And, you see that with music and television, and it's just a progression of what we're going. So I do think there's going to be a big bang at some point where all of this collapses, like social media. It's just you're going to be overwhelmed, and, people got AI and stuff like that. I think at some point the information is going to be so easily accessed, they won't need us.
Wow.
Because they already have AI writing stories. They have. I see videos on YouTube where the people that are like me and you on YouTube, we're talking underneath the videos.
Yep.
Now I listened. I said that's not a real person.
Right.
That's somebody. That's just an AI reading off.
Yep.
They said talk about Floyd Mayweather. And the AI reads for 5 minutes, and they put a video up on YouTube, and it gets 600,000 views. I'm like, they're not gonna need us in a while. Yeah. That's when I hope to be retired out in Lake Las Vegas fishing.
We'll join you.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Look at the camera and tell everybody where can they get your stuff. Where can they follow you?
Yeah, you can always find me blacksportsonline.com. A plethora of social media. It's all under Black Sports Online. BSO on X now. Facebook Black Sports Online. Instagram BSO TV. Throughout the week, I'll be giving a lot of inside, behind the scenes type of stuff. I'm headed to the Air Force Base right now to see the flyover jets. One of the things I like to do when I'm out here, even as an older man now, is I've never been to an Air Force base in my life.
Hey, man,
and my dad is actually retired from the Air Force, and I know he's going to get a kick out of these pictures and videos I'm going to send them.
Look at that. Have fun. Nellis is awesome, so enjoy it. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's Robert Littal, everybody, here on Black Sports Online, joining us here on the Bus Tony versus the Book.